And then look, JD's even got like this little scrolling thing right here. All right, we're live, boys.
Both
We
channels.
are live on both channels. Yes, sir.
And we got the head hog with us tonight.
Oh man,
Head hog.
the head
This is-
honcho.
They don't let me in front of the cameras.
This
very
is big,
often.
boys. This is big.
This
We
is
got the
good.
boss man.
Not good enough looking.
yeah. So tighten up, JD. All right, don't get us
All
fired.
Yeah. Is that possible? Where do I
you
get
know
the
what?
help from? Then?
Yeah, we'll have to check the contracts, but I don't think so.
Oh, I gotta pay attention to comments because we're live.
Yeah,
we're
live. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check but you know, there's possibility. There's a clause in there that says that if we mess that up, you know, we're out of there.
Oh, I respond as both of us too. This is great.
Yeah, you do. Well, no, so like you see down at the bottom that little bubble that says all.
Oh yeah.
Switch it over to your name.
All right.
There we go. Now this is.
I just saw the comments. Now I can see them. Nice.
There we go. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another live episode. Actually, this is probably the first live episode that we're doing during the week. We usually do these on Fridays or we do them on Saturdays or Sunday nights whenever JD and I have some time. But if I'm not mistaken, JD, you're on the tail end of your summer vacation.
No, I'm back on vacation. I just took another week off.
Oh, nice. Look at you.
Yeah, right. That's what happens when you're an executive.
Do you work, John?
Okay. Sometimes.
Yeah, occasionally.
Sometimes. I'm learning that in America, it's like bad to work.
Yeah, no, it really is. Yeah.
So
I'm
learning that.
With everybody's,
it's like
with everybody's work after the fact.
The less I work, it seems like the more money shows up in my mailbox.
Well, that's the other piece of it too. Capitalism at its finest, baby.
Yeah.
So, in case you're wondering who this gorgeous gentleman is right here, this is River. He is our CEO and owner of Hedge. Thank you for joining us tonight, sir. You are
for having me.
On-site correspondent tonight for the National Convention, Sports Collectors Convention.
National Sports Card
We
Collectors
wear many
Convention,
hats.
Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually, you know what, JD? It's funny that we're both kind of stumbling on that because I had to look that up because it is officially the National Sports Collectors Convention 2023. And River is there representing Hedge.
Hedge
doing some espionage.
Yeah.
Getting the inside tracks on what's going on in the hobby over at the National. And because me and JD are both broke boys, we're living vicariously through him. So
next time.
We're gonna have over the course of the National, hopefully, we're gonna try to line up our buddy Big Scott for tomorrow. We have Victor, the rookie card specialist, who's also agreed to also come on. And so we're gonna try to figure this thing out because ideally what JD and I would like to do is to have somebody on at the end or the tail end or the wrap up of each day, just to kind of talk about what the buzz is and all that stuff for those of us who are broke boys and can't be there. Even though we would absolutely love to, but
as a representing,
yeah, because it's getting interesting, man. I'm seeing a lot of stuff. I was actually pretty busy today, but I was just getting caught up on Instagram.
That's the best comment so far.
Which one? Let me see. Hedger.
I'm gonna add a few more actually.
That's good stuff, hobby champs.
Get the spyware gear out. There you go.
Hey, I hope Birdie's got an alert.
Birdie better have an alert. I'm sure he does. Global's in the house all the way from the other side of the world in Australia. Dang, it's 10 a.m. over there. Look at that.
Wow.
Hey, look at Negatron's in the house.
Yeah. Megatron's here. Always with a negative comment. Yep.
I didn't know you guys had so many friends on here.
Man, I'll tell you what. Me and JD have garnered quite the following.
Yeah, nobody likes us.
Nobody likes us.
Oh yeah, speaking of the deodorant, man, it was warm out there today, boys.
Was it really?
No AC in the place?
It's like they haven't quite figured out how to cool a really large area with a lot of people in it yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
It's better than last year, but it's still pretty heavy.
So last year was Atlantic City, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the climate's different.
AC is back in the running for like 2026 or something. Like people have to vote on.
I'm pretty sure they've maybe just banned it now in the state of Illinois. I'm not sure.
AC.
Yeah,
I'm
AC is
joking.
AC is an
Jesus, I was like,
option
holy crap, man.
for 2026.
It's
Whenever
working in the hotel, but
So you actually have to like book the place and then go, oh, hey, by the way, we want AC, and like, oh, that's gonna be an extra charge.
Yeah, that'll be an extra $300.
Jesus, man, that's
So-
insane. I can't imagine
so-
that many people over there.
Let's
yeah, there's a lot of people.
let's chat here.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
What's going on there, man?
How's it looking?
I mean, so
Yeah.
just a like my 10,000 foot view, like obviously it's a big convention, but it looks and feels way busier than last year, honestly. Like and keep in mind it's somewhat anecdotal, like I'm just like looking at it from my perspective, but it's a Thursday and
Right.
it was pretty much, I mean, it was extraordinarily busy for most of the mid-afternoon, I would say, like
Wow.
busier than it was last year on all the days that I went. I think I went multiple days last year.
Yeah.
And it just seems way busier, and it's also like way larger. Like the event area feels
Yeah, they
larger.
said
I
it's
don't
like
know if it's
14
because it's like a
acres or something.
maze,
What?
but it's extraordinarily large. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah, it said it's like
actual layout's
14
really
acres.
really big.
Sure.
And
So,
it just
did you
it was
see
packed.
you see anybody
Absolutely
cool?
smashed.
Did you see anybody cool?
No, so the funny thing is, like, so I'm sitting with a friend of mine, Matt, and we're sitting just catching up, having like taken a load off our feet, and he walks away to go do something, and one of the Blez guys starts doing a video literally right in front of me. And like they, they're doing their thing, and I thought it was great. Like I didn't think I would be in it, but the funny thing is, like, I look at my Instagram like 30 minutes later, and like that's the video. Like I'm not in it because like my head is like kind of cut like right there. But it was funny. I just thought it was interesting. I mean, they're everywhere. Like I saw tons of people last night. There was like a networking event, so I got to meet a bunch of people there, which I thought was fun. And
So you
see all the kind of people network. You see all the people on Instagram that you would normally like just see, like real like hobby famous. And then like ton of those people were out today, like everywhere. Obviously, I met up with some people that we work with, and they there was just cool people out everywhere, really. Like it seemed like I saw people that I would see online that that have pretty big followings, like everywhere. Like everybody's doing videos, but you know what it is like now, everybody is got a camera with them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Is everybody
it's
walking around with their cell phone or camera out?
I mean, there are a lot of influencer type people like everywhere, right? It's literally like made up, not made up. I mean, scenes, people are doing their things everywhere, right? Like taking video, but not, doing their walkthroughs or setting up some sort of like video thing or, it's like, I mean, it was kind of like that last year anyways, but it's just, the insanity of it all is like where everybody's, doing some type of content all the time, it feels like. And then, there's just the regular folks as well.
Yeah. Was it that way, say 2 years ago?
So I wasn't there 2 years ago, so I can't really tell you.
Okay.
And I don't actually recall like that far back, but like it just feels, how it is. Like everybody's doing something, right?
Yeah. Like the value of the content now is a little bit higher, right? Because of the space is getting so much bigger in general, like the hobby in general.
Yeah.
So, if you could put out a piece of content about the National, then you're going to do it, right? Especially if you're there for that purpose.
Yeah, and everybody's got their own following and stuff too. So like they're trying to keep up with their fans and everything. So which I think is great. Like
Hey, breaking news: really? Ohtani just got traded to the Red Sox.
No way.
No, is that true?
No way.
Wait, no, that's a John thing. Yeah,
there's no way.
It's not true. You're looking it up though.
I was about to Google it. And then when I thought Red Sox, I was like, oh no, that's a John thing. Yeah.
I saw that Burrow news earlier, and I was like, whoa, dude, that's serious. So luckily, it sounds like that's going to be not a big deal. But
they carted him off, and that's what scared the crap out of me. I was like, well.
Yeah, I think everybody was like, what, they carted him off? Everybody was like, oh, it's an Achilles. Like that was everybody's like instantaneous reaction. And then you saw the text. So he was I think he was in like he was actually in a press conference and everything. So I think I don't think he'd be doing that if he tore his Achilles.
I imagine they carted him off like you were saying in our chat, like just like super cautious.
Yeah, I mean, man, can you imagine you just get back? Yeah, you just get back, like you're literally in training camp for like 2 days.
And then
he needs a stretch or something, dude. Dude, he stretches, dude.
Limber up.
He's been in off season all week or for 4 months or whatever. But yeah, like generally speaking, like the show, it looks awesome. There's some crazy stuff, like some booths that you just can't even imagine are like massive, and then like there's like some that are you would think would be massive and they're not. So like it's kind of an interesting like scenario. But all the big players there, obviously, and then you see sort of everybody else like in the mix. Trying to think of like if I saw anybody like super famous. I don't think I really saw any. I didn't see Gary Vee yet. Like last year I saw him. I walked by their thing a couple times, but I didn't catch him. And
he's there promoting the big V Friends thing, right?
Yeah, like so he's like super hard on like still pushing to make that like a long-term reality, I think. So obviously I saw some content and stuff, but I didn't actually see him when I was there. Right. But there's lots of other people out.
What's the coolest thing you've seen so far as memorabilia?
Day one.
We'll start with memorabilia. What's the coolest piece of memorabilia you've
seen?
Heritage
has like probably one of the cooler setups. Although I will say this, like, just the one thing that caught my eye, and I almost missed it, but like the PSA booth is like in a weird place. But I think they have this, like, I didn't go in through the whole thing, but like on the outside, they have like a whole wall of Metal Universe basketball that is like every single card in order, graded,
really?
In only red. It was insane. It looks awesome.
Oh,
yeah, like that actually caught my eye. I was like, well, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
They just they thought about it. Like it looked cool. It like obviously those are cool cards if you're a basketball fan, and like any fan, they're like cool cards. Oh, the MJ car, somebody global, the MJ car was there, so they're like
the MJ car.
Whatnot, so Whatnot is, I don't know if it's a raffle or something. I don't want to get into the details of what it is, but they're like, you can win that car. You can win MJ's black Mercedes.
Oh, we gotta tell Lou.
By spending like $23 or something.
Really?
So that's pretty desperate. Cool, and it's there at the show. So like,
yeah, they're worried about Fanatics live.
They're desperate.
Well, no doubt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
what's
definitely,
all right. So memorabilia.
That was cool.
Card. What's the coolest card you've seen?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff. So they're like, I went to the what is this? I can't remember what booth. But there's a bunch of one-of-ones. I think it's owned, but there you go.
That thing is slick, dude.
So there's some really cool one-of-ones that are, I think it's
that is cool.
Gosh, I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact booth, but they're like, they're not for sale or anything. They're just like sitting out. Okay. And they're like modern stuff, but like cool, like Logo Mans and stuff like that. Yep. I can't rember. I think it was Alt. I think Alt owns them. Or somebody like that. I can't remember, right. But like they're that there's just some cool stuff if you like modern things. And obviously I think Heritage honestly has probably like some of the coolest like old school stuff. Like if you want to look at like really high quality, and it's like presented well, obviously, because they're in cases and they have literally like security everywhere at the Heritage booth. Like so that was really cool. I sent my son actually there's some MJ game worn that they have there that were pretty cool. I'll send you guys the image shortly, and that was pretty cool. He's like into Jordans, and so that was pretty awesome. They have a bunch of stuff there though. They have like a whole like they just have an insane amount of like really cool high end stuff at the Heritage booth.
So here's what they're showing.
I didn't see this actually. I must have. Is that Heritage? Oh yeah,
it's just Heritage.
That. I didn't see the rings. That's actually really cool. But so like this is kind of some of the stuff at the Heritage. Like they have a bunch of these cases just insanely cool stuff. Like if you like for everybody, right? There's some basketball stuff. There's like a ton of like game worn jerseys. Really, really nice. Yeah. There
Was
you
that
go.
Tigers? Oh, nice.
Yeah, Tiger.
No, that's Michael Jordan.
So like I think they have one of the coolest booths. If you like a lot of I almost like this was one I almost took a picture for you, John, which was
Tiger Woods. It is Tiger Woods, you're right.
I think there's like a Yager jersey there under, I think. Which I assume John would be interested in.
Yeah, Yager's still playing. That's a legit game worn because he's still playing.
So the one you just saw, like with the tunes and everything, was the case that I sent that had the Jordans in it too.
I don't know. It says Japan's Ribera Steakhouse were right from best. Doesn't say whose it is. Andre the Giant.
Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty cool. See, like this is the hard part because I would go and I'd spend way too long, like just looking at this stuff.
But this is like the cool stuff. Like in my opinion, like I mean, I obviously if you want to look for deals, that's one thing. But like I think a lot of the historic stuff is really cool. I love the stuff. You know, all the things that you would never normally see. Like up close.
Isn't that crazy?
Personal.
Jackie Robinson ticket stub. Look at that.
Jackie Robinson's MLB debut from 1947.
That's
the
insane,
Brooklyn
right?
Dodgers ticket stub.
Yeah, they had a bunch of ticket stubs and stuff that I thought was really interesting.
That's insane.
That Brooks Robinson's plaque.
I'm glad I didn't take pictures of all this stuff because they just have it right there for you. But yeah, there's like I said, I think that's the best booth, at least in my opinion. But everybody's got their own taste, right? Like, I like to see all the historic. I like to see all the old stuff, and they just have so much of it, and it's just presented really cool. And they spend a lot of time like describing what things are and where it came from and the history. Like, obviously, you know, for me, it's like knowing, and I think a lot of people, it's like knowing the history of that specific item is like really interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what these guys do, right? They're an auction house. They're trying to tell you the story behind the piece so that you shell out some cash for it.
Spend more money.
Jim Brown's NFL Rookie of the Year trophy.
It's awesome.
Ronaldinho.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, that's crazy. It's almost worth.
Dude, those old Pele things like that are crazy.
Yeah,
those soccer cards are so rare. It's not even funny.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, you never get a card. It's a sticker, right? It's all sticker stuff. None of it's ever really the cards.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's insane. Yeah. I mean, that's. There's two sets of people that go, right. It's the people, like you said, River, the people that are looking for the deals, right, and then the people that are there for
making deals, you know,
right?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got their own thing. Like, I'm more into like seeing the history, and like obviously, I like to see some of the corporate stuff too. Like, you know, what are they doing? What are they marketing and that sort of thing? And then obviously the historic stuff and like the PSA wall was like I just thought was really cool. Like I wasn't sure what it was, and then I walked up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like all red. You know,
PMGs.
Metal Universe. I was like, dude, that's
Oh, look at this.
are like insane.
Dude, can you imagine if they ever managed to put the red PMGs, green ones right next to each other and display them both along with the base? Oh, dude, that would.
Did you see? The case of Exquisite get ripped and the kid pulled a Jordan patch auto?
No way. Really?
Yeah, I tagged you on Instagram. Nas Nubs and his
I heard some like crazy like cheering at one point. That could have been it, maybe.
Case of Exquisite. It was like one guy opens a box pack, whatever, and it was like lame. Then the second guy pulled a nice Rodman patch auto, and then his son goes third card in, beautiful L from the Bulls jersey, Jordan on card.
No way.
Sick.
Oh, here it goes.
Everybody was nuts. It's like at the very end, like
that's funny because like I was having a conversation like with some people there, and then all of a sudden like some insane like cheering broke out. Like, is it at Beckett? Was that where it was?
Yeah, it was at Beckett. Yep.
Yeah, okay, that was it.
There it is.
Because it was insane. Like
Goatee
it literally
Jordan.
like shook the whole place. and we're like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, and I got a
Look
9.
at this.
Yeah, I got a 9, 8.5.
Nice.
It got murdered on the corners.
Oh, it's nice to see Beckett still grading.
Well, Beckett's probably there on site.
Good one.
Doing on-site stuff, right?
Yeah, no, they're there. It was at the Beckett booth.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they have a huge booth.
That's a
there's some really cool stuff. Like honestly, like and I think I had talked to you guys about this also. Like the tag booth was really actually interesting because they had like these transparent like glass surrounding like their whole operation. Like they set up like the production line for doing grading with all their machines and everything, and then it was like it's encased. Like in the sense there's this like plexiglass all the way around the whole thing. So you can kind of like see what's going on. It was impressive. Yeah. Regardless of what you think of tag or whatever. But I thought the booth design was actually really interesting. So
nice. What's that card hedge pullover you got on there? What is that thing?
This is the top notch stuff right here.
Yeah, look at that. That's
Omar.
Yeah, this is the
Omar. You get one of those?
That's not, Papa. That's executive stuff, my boy.
You gotta be part of the ET.
You see that? No,
wow. And he hot ironed a Nike patch.
My mom did that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Executive level stuff, my boy. We're not there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
We get the Under Armour version.
These are actually legit, right? Like they're really good. But somebody I was talking to, Ryan from GemRate, he had some hats, and they were actually really really nice. So like I'm trying to like, you got to get the right manufacturer for the hats, right? Like if we want hats, like they got to be good. So that's like you gotta really, I think you need to get like samples from everyone and like just get the right one, because like you don't want to order a bunch of hats that are like they're nice,
just crap hats. Like I agree.
Yeah, it's like you got to get the right stuff. Like volume is bad, like quality is good.
Yeah. You see, but people are asking for it though. You see.
I know.
So off the pit, Brian, if we got a nice little couple of merch things going in the retro store, would you buy one? Because if you'll buy them, we'll put them up.
Do you have a retro store?
Yeah, we got a store.
I got a store. I sell a little bit of merch.
Really?
Yeah.
Gotta get some CH stuff in there.
That's what I'm saying. Hence why I was saying about the hats, Broheim.
Yeah, we got it. Look, see, most definitely.
These are legit for sure. I like this. This is nice. But I need to get a couple more for y'all. I actually have had people, the guys at Arena really want them. At least that's what they said. So I'm gonna definitely get you guys and them some.
Speaking of
priority
Arena,
is you guys.
I mean,
first.
Did you catch Jeter at all?
No, I missed Jeter.
Hey, tell Jeter to accept my trade too. By the way,
I was gonna, Right? Did you actually trade something on Arena?
Yeah, I got a trade proposal.
He probably gets so many requests.
Oh, I would imagine.
Arena. I bet it's just like, that's.
I offered Steve Nash a rookie card of himself.
I'm sure he doesn't have any.
What was it like? What's the reciprocal? Like, were you like, here, I'll take your?
I'm trying to get. Nash is like, Jeter's got some stuff.
Jeter's got some heat.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got some stuff.
He's in there, like really adding some things into his.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's
showcase or whatever.
I doubt it. It's probably
somebody.
It's probably Jeter Downs, but he's got some good stuff in there. So
so he was there. Apparently, I wasn't there at the time that he was there. But I guess he was there with like Dr. Collectible or somebody. I think I saw the video.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. I saw that. It's funny. Steve Nash has got a bunch of. Well, he is Canadian, so he's got a bunch of hockey stuff.
Yeah, he's a big Messier fan.
He's a big what?
He's got some. What does he have in there?
Mark Messier.
He's a hockey fan.
He's from Canada.
He's from Canada.
Yeah, Steve Nash is Canadian.
Yeah. So isn't Jay Wilson.
Yes.
They play basketball in Canada?
No.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Arena shirts.
Yeah, Arena shirts powered by Card Hedge.
Yeah. I don't think Arena's worried about us.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at though.
That's what I want them to do. Like, yeah, can I get we'll have an arena shirt that says that would be insane. Actually, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I want them to wear it.
Yeah. Go get Jeter to wear it.
Yeah.
If I make one, I wonder if they would wear it. Like,
yeah, that'd be good. I mean, what are they gotta do? You just take it to them and be like, "Here you go, man."
We'll get
one and
we'll
this
send it to
special.
Big
This is a
Poppy
one
to
of
wear
one.
It's a one of one.
This is a one of one arena powered by Card Hedge.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. I don't know if you got an opportunity because they're talking about the show is so big, right? There's like a corporate section, and then there's like the card show side of it, right? Like, are those
kind
of
mixed? It's like so there's basically the way it's filled out in my mind, but I'm not looking at the map right now. There's basically like two large halls that are mixed of like corporate and some like just card, retailers, big ones, and then other small stuff. Now I could get that wrong a little bit. Like maybe it's just like smaller corporate stuff on the ends of those big halls, but I think there was like retail in both halls. And then like in the middle they have like this breaker section. It's just like big breaking, not big, like some, I'm assuming like some smaller breakers too, but like just breaking companies in the middle section. So there's like these two massive hallways, like big, like insane big areas.
All they're doing is
and
breaking.
Then between them is like this other smaller section that's just breaking, and there's like a stage where they're having like, like they had a stage like last year too, but it was kind of off in its own area. This is like kind of in the center of a bunch of stuff. And so, yeah, so like that area is pretty busy, and also like it's breakers, right? Like they're all live, like 24/7 basically. Just doing their thing right there, screaming at the cameras and whatever they do.
Whatever. Hiding the hits.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's not gold.
Have you done any looking for yourself as far as cards or anything?
No, not really. Like all the stuff, I mean, I definitely walk through just to look at stuff, but I wasn't really like, I don't usually come into this type of thing with like, oh, I'm looking for something. Cause like if I was going to look for something, me personally, like I'd make a list and I'd, like, but I would like, I would,
you're definitely very
Card Hedge aspect of the thing that we're doing. So like meeting with people,
you're there for business,
talking to our customers, trying to get new customers, from on the sort of data side. And then obviously meeting up with like, some of the other folks that we like, acquaintances and friends and stuff that you don't normally get to meet up with during the year, that you're just doing Zoom calls with and, or texting or whatever. So yeah, there you go. Okay.
So here is the map.
Okay. So like that, I think that shows it. Like, so go down.
Oh, this is nothing. Dude, look at this. Look how big this is.
Yeah, so like it's weird, like it's hard to conceptualize that with like when you're there, but like so there's that massive hall, and then that whole middle section there, which you're pointing at right there, is like the breakers area, I think.
Oh yeah, because it says right there, it says breaks.
Yeah, so like that's so
there's
there
the
you
stage
go. So,
you're
like,
talking
that's
about.
all, like yeah, that's it. So that's like kind of, it feels like that's like the middle area, and then on both sides of that there are big halls, although if you go down, it doesn't look as big on here. But I think that's more like corporate stuff and things. But it was it's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, because you got this whole area here, and you guys probably can't see too much of it, but you got this whole area here, which is that breaking area, and then right next to it, actually that kind of makes sense, right? Put PSA right next to the breaking area.
They're right next to the main, like that main entrance too. Yeah, that makes
Because then you got Beckett right there, and then you got PWCC, you got CSG right there.
Yep.
Whatnot.
It's CGC now.
CGC, that's right.
They've rebranded.
That's right. Yeah, and then you got what seems to be Tops, Fanatics, Authentic.
Wow, is that Wild Card?
Wild Card, dude. Wild
Card. They had a huge
OG.
Yeah, actually, I got an image of their stuff because they had like, I mean, it was just massive. Like, obviously, it's a big booth. Like these booths, like the scale of what you see here is really difficult to like get a feel for it. Like those are actually insane booths, right?
What I would imagine. So Leaf, Golden and eBay.
Yeah.
Panini.
Little side by side action.
Yeah, so you got all the big dogs there, and then the heritage stuff.
Heritage, ComC, Mascot. Yep. Shout out to our boys, Mascot. Oh, by the way,
Mascot,
if you guys,
yeah.
So
I ran into Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra. Shout out to Ezra.
Yeah, our podcast episode with him is live, right?
Yep, it is live as of today.
Nice.
So if you guys want to check that out, I'm gonna blast that once we get done here because I want to make sure everybody checks that out because I am very excited about Mascot. That, I mean,
dude, I've been using it like nonstop. It is so.
It's awesome. So easy. I mean,
like to be able to list your cards to like at least those 2 right now without any effort,
dude,
is insane.
I don't know if you guys got an opportunity to watch it, and I told you to watch it, JD, but I don't think you said you hadn't had time. But Ezra was on with Gary V yesterday. They released the episode with Gary V. Gary V had just gotten back an order from CGC. It was 230 something odd cards, and of course you get an email that says, "Hey, your cards are ready. Here's your cards." He literally grabbed, like, just highlighted everything, clicked it, and dragged it over to Mascot, dropped it in there, and it loaded all 232 cards like in a minute.
Yeah.
And he immediately had the serial numbers. He had all the high res imaging off of CGC, everything just right there in Mascot. And all he had to do was add prices to it.
Yep.
And
I have noticed, though, I don't know if you noticed this when you did your cards, the parallels don't come up.
Yeah, the exact parallel doesn't come up.
You got to pay attention to that because if you don't, you list your card and
as
it
a base,
has no description and it's just a base card. So make sure you pay attention to that, people.
But yeah, that's that. I think we're gonna hear a lot more about Mascot coming up because that's an interesting. He's solving a very interesting problem, which is making selling easier.
Yep.
It eliminates.
Yeah, I mean, I think multi-channel has like always been a problem, and I think that's definitely the problem that they're going to be really good at solving, right?
Yeah.
Or hopefully like that. I think that's where a lot of their value add is, generally speaking.
The data he has, of what did he say? Like he said it 1,000 times now, but there's 10 times the buyers. There are sellers. Like, and that wasn't like him making it up. Like he had he cited some financial people. Like did a study. There's 10 times the amount of buyers that there are sellers.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
Well, just because it's so hard to sell, it's so labor intensive. You have to do a lot, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep up with a lot.
To like do one thing, right? Like, what does it take you if you had just to do it manually to list it on one site?
On one site, and that's the other thing too. You're only listing on one site. Like you have to pick, right?
Yeah.
And if you have,
and of course, like if you want liquidity, if you want like buyers, where do you go?
eBay.
Like, I mean, but now you can go lots of different places, right? Like quite easily. Like I think it's really interesting.
Does anybody sell? Do either of you sell sports cards on Amazon?
No.
Does anybody in the chat sell sports cards on Amazon?
How do you possibly do that?
I think you have to use. That's why Shopify's there. Like I don't know.
Well, I mean, the Shopify is like a different thing, but you can sell whatever like on Amazon. I think you can like. I'm not exactly sure how it works, like kind of like FBA, but like I don't know if you guys are familiar, but like it has to be fulfilled by them in a lot of cases. Some of the rules may have changed, but I mean Shopify is different, right? You can have your own channels on Shopify. Shopify can be used as like there's a ton of wax, and I assume that like it's probably lives on Amazon, right? Like so if you do FBA, like you can sell your own stuff on Amazon, right?
Right.
Just like you can on Walmart or whatever. They're all just different sales channels now, or Target. But then it gets fulfilled by those guys a lot of time. I don't know all the details, but
that's interesting.
I didn't realize that.
Who the hell would consider that 10 years down the road and you get a return? No thanks.
That would be like
I bought these slippers.
Hey, Bobbles, like, are you guys down? Bobbles isn't at the
Bobbles didn't go. He took my advice.
Oh, that's right. He did have something going on with the family. I think we talked about that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
So, Riv, what's your plans for tomorrow? Anything exciting? Are you only there
on a plane?
Yeah, you're leaving
I just
tomorrow,
went for
right?
today, really. So there was the networking event last night, and then I was meeting up with a bunch of people today, and then I'm out. So,
nice, in
good
and out.
stuff, man.
You know,
Yeah.
let the people have their party, and I'm going home.
Yeah. You
Sounds
should go
It
back
was
to
awesome. Like, it's always good to come and see it. Like obviously meeting up with people you don't get to meet up with, which is awesome, and seeing the sort of the spectacle of the hobby, which is awesome. And like, it does, like, I was a little bit like skeptical. I had heard like other people talking about how even yesterday, like, oh, it seems bigger, better, more people. And like, actually, I think I agree with that. Like, without being hype or anything, like, it does feel like there were more people, and the space obviously feels way bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but like, it definitely felt bigger than last year.
Well, I think
and
that
it
place
definitely
is
felt like there were way more people.
bigger than the place in AC. Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure, just in like legit structure size or whatever.
Yeah,
so maybe it's just like,
yeah, there you go.
If they made it twice as big, could you get? I mean, you probably could get people like that many retailers in there. Like, people obviously,
wow,
it's just insane, right? Like, if you
guys
want
hear
to get
that thunder?
on the
I
list,
saw it, JD. JD just had a big old lightning strike hit right next to his window. I think.
I think my basketball hoop just shit the bed.
Oh, that's funny. So
had a good run.
Right now that you're there, Riv, and we could wrap up on this, man, because I know you got a bunch of stuff going on. But there's this new idea of Fanatics taking over these events. JD and I were kind of on the last on the episode last week, or the episode prior to the one from Ezra. We were talking about like, hey, do we think that Fanatics is going to take over the National? Is that what they're going after? And how do you? I don't know if you're aware of Fanatics and what they're doing with that Fanatics events, and that they're trying to put on events for the hobby going forward. They've hired the former director that was putting on all of the Comic-Con shows and stuff like that. So it seems like they're pulling out all the stops to put together a team to put together these really big shows. Do you think that they could put something on like this, or is this just too much of an institution for the national convention, that this belongs to them, and there really isn't another game in town that can do something like this?
Well, I mean, I never really think like in those terms, like whether one thing is so big that like could you never displace it. Like, I don't think that's like my always gut feel for that is like, no, of course, like if you do things correctly, like, yeah, you could probably do something on that level. Now, it's not trivial.
Right.
I don't think they're gonna go like and this is completely in my head around my thought process of what they'll be doing. Yeah. I think they're gonna be competing probably in different time slots for a similar type size convention, and maybe multiple, but not necessarily like I don't think there's a need for them to come in and like take this over per se. Like, this thing will still exist, and I don't think that they're gonna, like, this convention, they're not gonna let it go easily. And like, if Fanatics think they can put on something at the same scale, then they'll probably just try to create their own, right?
Yeah. Like one in the fall, maybe.
I might be wrong about that. But again, I'm not an events person. Like, that's a business that's its own thing, and like it takes a lot of its like expertise in that area. But that's kind of my gut feel. Like, when I first heard about that, I was like, okay, so they're probably going to try to start putting on their own shows, or maybe they start to do some smaller stuff. I say smaller, but like, what if they could do something like Dallas Card Show more frequently? That's kind of like a similar type thing of that in certain areas where you can get a lot of traction. Maybe you start there. Again, I don't know. But that was just like some of the first thoughts that came to my head when I heard that. And I think they could probably, like, putting on a show like this actually is probably extraordinarily difficult. So, I mean, of course, they're going to bring in like top people that have done things like this before to try to execute something. If they're bringing on like high level people that are,
they brought in that dude from Comic-Con.
Then of course, like, that's probably where they're going to go with it, which is like put on some big conventions. Now, can you support 2 massive conventions or more a year? I don't know. Like who
I've always thought about the idea, because like there's a huge collectors community in Asia, right? I always thought about like putting on something like this in that area, that part of the world. In Europe, there's a lot of collectors in Europe. There's a lot of soccer people in Central America, South America. Like this is what we do is like obviously we're kind of the biggest consumer of it all, but I think there's enough out there to sustain some pretty decent shows, internationally, if they decided to do something like that. And I don't think anybody's doing it on the level of a national type show internationally, right?
Well, there certainly could be. We just don't know. Thinking about what would go on in Dubai, that would be off the chain.
Oh, dude,
yeah, that was actually like my first thought is like, you could go somewhere like Dubai and like put on something really interesting. Obviously, like the scale of the thing is different, and it's also difficult because like, are you gonna have retailers? Like, it's a long way to go to bring inventory. Like, there's a lot of logistical issues.
Yeah.
But anyways, but yeah, I still think like they're probably their first step is just like they're gonna do something in the U.S. I don't know if it's gonna be like a bunch of like a handful of medium-sized shows, or like really just go straight after like creating a really big show like this. We'll see. I mean, I think in the end, like it's probably cool for everybody that's a hobbyist, because you're like, oh, I have more opportunities,
have more shows to go to. Yeah.
And so like I like that. I think a lot of people would. The question is, can you get retailers there? Can you get enough people there to support it? And can it live alongside, other shows like this size? I honestly don't know the answer to that. I would hope so. That'd be cool though.
Yeah, half of the card hobby's all caught up in grading scandals. Like, they're all fugitives.
Yeah,
we can't even go to Canada.
Yeah. That's a good one, Jay. That's good.
That's good.
All right, on that, these are listen. So everybody understands what we're doing. We're gonna have someone on every night from here on out live. We'll come on for a half hour, 45 minutes. Check in, see what's going on, get different perspectives. For all of us that can't be at the National this year, we'd like to thank our fearless leader, River, for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep. Thank you for hiring us and supporting us, and for not getting us the Nike swag.
Thanks for everything that you guys do.
Yeah, we really appreciate that you appreciate us.
These jackets for you guys, because actually I really like them, and you guys deserve to have them too. So
it'd
cool.
be nice.
I feel bad actually now. Like you're like, why don't I? I'm like,
I got a t-shirt.
Christmas is coming.
I got a t-shirt.
We appreciate your time, River. We know you're been crazy busy out there, shaking hands and kissing babies. And
doing my best.
It's like the priest from Rocky.
We'll catch up with you, I guess, in the group chat where we're all very well behaved.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate
everyone
when we end.
We'll be back on tomorrow night. Our guest
same time.
Is still to be determined, or do we know, JD?
It'll either be Victor or Scott, one or the other.
Okay, well, either Big Scott or Victor, the rookie card specialist. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up so everybody can set their reminders for tomorrow, and you guys can tune in. But thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see y'all. Peace out.